Okay, now I'm going to look at the American Accounting Association model, which provides a framework within which an ethical decision can be made. What you have to do is look at the questions and work through a series of answers. So first of all, establish the facts of the case. Once you've done that, you then identify the ethical issues at stake. Are there any conflicts? What are the norms, the values and principles related to the case? Come up with an alternative course of action possible. So what are the alternatives? What could be the outcome? 5. Identify the best course of action in alignment with the norms, values and principles. I.e. produce a short list of variable choices. And when you've done that, you basically need to go back to your third question and review that based on what you've just worked out the outcomes. Once you've done that, then go back to that question and then move on to what are the consequences, assess the consequences, of each course of action. Once you've done that, you would then need to work out, how does that, have I thought about everything? Have I got every alternative course of action? If you believe you have, then you can then go on to reach your decision. Fundamental ethical principles, IFAC, objectivity. Clearly, members should not allow bias and conflicts of interest to affect their behaviour. You should be professional at all times, i.e. comply with all relevant laws and regulations in your country. You should apply professional competence and due care when undertaking your work and making sure that you're adequately trained and up to date. Perform to the high standard. You should be honest and straightforward. And you should maintain confidentiality, bearing in mind the sort of information you will come across. This you will have done in, or will do in P7. These are the threats to your independence: self-interest, self-review, advocacy, familiarity, intimidation. A nice little list to learn. You must learn them and what they are. The definitions of what they are is next to them. Not difficult, but something to look at. Defining profession and professionalism, not easy, I guess, other than to say a profession is distinguished by having a body of knowledge, a commitment to the social good, ability to regulate itself, i.e. those within it, and hopefully has a high social status. Accountants should seek to promote or preserve the public interest. The idea of them working to help society is meant to be parts of doing one's work. You need to have the right to engage in a self-regulation. You must have exclusive right to perform particular functions, and special status hopefully will come from that. There is more to being an accountant than is captured by the definition of the professional. It can be argued that accountants should have the presentation of true, fair and accurate manner as a goal. This is because members of society at large are generally impacted by the actions of the profession. If they don't do proper audits or they're not integral, then the company has a chance of failing, which affects people's employment prospects. Members of any profession therefore have an ongoing wider duty to society at large rather than just solely to their own professional body. And that's something to bear in mind as you make your way forward to become one. Corporate social responsibility is something that's becoming more and more pertinent. It's not just the green environment anymore, it's more than that. It's looking at the needs of all stakeholders who we defined earlier. It's not just shareholders, it's customers, investors, employees, suppliers, etc., etc. You've got to learn all these different groups have very different interests, some higher, lower impacts on businesses than others. Gray, Owen and Adams' viewpoints on corporate social responsibility is something that comes up in exams on a regular basis. And what you need to do is work your way from those at the top, if you like, of the list, which are pristine capitalists, who see businesses having no more moral responsibilities other than to their shareholders and creditors. No one else is important. Expedients, however, next down, believe that there may be an appropriate assistant for the business. By being social responsible, it may well help the business to make a better profit. Proponents of the social contract, their viewpoint is there is effectively a contract or agreement between the organisation and those who are affected by their decisions. So they are looking to assist not just shareholders and just make a profit. There is an implied agreement between society and the company. Social ecologists believe that businesses' activities result in resource exhaustion, i.e. using up resources, waste and pollution should be mitigated and modified. Organisations should be socially responsible. Socialists seek to promote egalitarian equality, in other words, everybody's equal. Radical feminists is basically promotion of feminine values, so cooperation with one another. It's not about women's rights, by the way. It's just feminine values that should be brought into an organisation. Finally, deep ecologists suggest that man has no greater rights to resources or life than any other animal, species or plant. Sustainability is very important and becoming more and more topical. The problem with defining it is obviously quite hard to measure. What is good, what is bad, what is sustainable, what is not sustainable. It is becoming more and more involved in accounting and reporting, and companies are expected to put it in their accounts, but how do you monitor it? How do you put it and measure it? How do you put it into your financial statements? Weak sustainability basically focuses on the humans, and it's all about us, and the planet is just simply a resource. Strong sustainability, we try to be in harmony with natural world, i.e. humans and animals, etc. should all be sustained. That's the way to get economic growth and therefore benefit mankind in the long term. Okay, that's the end of your studies for P1. It's an outline, as I say, of key subjects within the P1 paper. Good luck, and hopefully see you at a course sometime soon.